Okay, so now we're going to be making our third heart. And for this one, I wanted to do something different. Instead of the diamond base that we were using, I'm going to be using a right angle weave. Let's see, I have my fishing line here. I have like, I would say this is like 3 feet of fishing line. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to start with 4 beads, and on the 4th bead I'm going to cross. Okay, cross, and the string is coming out of that last bead. And then okay, so my string here, I'm going to add 3 beads. No, sorry, I lied. 2 beads on one side, 1 bead on the other. Okay, and the one with the 2 beads, I'm going to cross on that 2nd bead. So that it does this. Okay, and then this one I will add 3 beads on one string, on the same string, and then I will cross. Okay, so when I do that, my string is coming out of this side bead. Okay, so the string is coming out of this corner, so I'm going to build up this way. So this is one side of the heart, and I'm going to build up this way. So I'm going to add 1 on one string, and then 2 on the other string, and on the 2nd bead I'm going to cross, and then let me see, how do I want this to go? Okay. Okay, so I'm orienting this way. Okay, and then on this string, the one to the left, I'm going to add 3 beads, and then I'm going to cross, because I want to see what that looks like. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. It doesn't look like a heart too much, but it is the foundation of it. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so I'm holding this here, and I'm going to take this string and I'm going to string through these 2 beads, or I'm going to pull through these 2 beads right here. So that's going to be the curve of my heart right there. And then, actually maybe I should keep going. Let me see how that's going to look. Okay. Let me see, do I add 1? You know what? I think I'm going to add 1 bead, because I don't want to squish it too much. So let's see what this looks like. I'm going to add 1 bead, and then I'm going to go through this bead, and then these 3 beads right here. So right now I'm just pulling the string through those 5 beads. Okay, how does that look? Okay, so that's kind of the top part of my heart. Okay, so I'm going to add, I will add oh, you know what? I made a mistake. Because here I added a bead. Let's see. You know what? I think, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the bead, I'm going to pull the string out right here. And then I'm going to add one. And add a bead between right there, right? So that looks like that. Okay. I'm going to add 2 beads. And I'm going to go through this one, the one that's popping out. Okay. And I'll do the same to the other side. So the other side, I'll add 2 beads. And you see this one right here. This bead right here is where I'm going to pull through. So let's see what a heart looks like. Okay. So I'm going to add 1 bead here, 1 bead there, and then I'm gonna end with 1 bead there. So on one string, doesn't matter which side because they're both the same right now. I'm gonna add a bead. I'm gonna go through this top one here and add a bead, and I'm going to go through this one. And then I'm going to add a bead, and then I'm going to tie it just to see what it looks like when it closes. Okay, it looks like that. Let me tie it one more time. Whoa. Okay. Okay, let's see. I don't like this pointy end right here, so I'm going to pop that out. Can I? Let's see. I don't like that pointy end there. Okay. Looks like this right now. Pull it a little bit. Oh, that's very pointy. Nope, I don't like that one. Let's see. What do we think? Here we go. And that is my 3rd heart. Okay, I'm gonna tie this off. Whoops. the string is so long that it's giving me, okay. Let's double knot that. Let's add some nail polish. Okay. I'm going to put the ends together. Whoops, and pull it through. Let's tie that off, and I'm sorry, cut that off. Okay, and that is our finished heart. Thanks for watching. Okay, so we just made this heart, and I'm noticing that the ends are very pointy, and I don't really like that. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do the exact same thing, but I'm going to add one less bead on the side here, on the curvy part, and I think that's going to give me a rounder curve. So let's try that out. I have some fishing line here, and it looks like I have a little over 2 feet, which is too long actually, but long is better than short. So I'm going to add 4 beads on the string, and on the last bead I am going to cross, so that's coming out of that 1 bead, and when I pull down, it's going to give me a nice little loop here, and both of my strings should be coming out of this 1 bead. Okay. All right. So on my next string, left string, 1 bead, right string, 2 beads. Whoops. 2 beads, and I'm going to cross on that 2nd bead, and I'm going to pull. So now my string is coming out of that bead all the way at the end there. I'm going to add 3 beads on my left, and when I add 3 beads on my left, it's going to change directions. So instead of the string coming out of the end, it's coming out of this side now. And what that allows me to do is it allows me to change angles, so that now we're going to build this direction. Okay, so here we go. Left string, 1 bead, right string, 2 beads, and then on the 2nd bead I'm going to cross, and that is going to start building. See, now we're building in this direction, right? And I'm going to change the angle. So right now I'm holding it like this, okay? So that the heart is this way. And then on my left string, I'm going to put 3 beads. And then I'm going to cross. Okay, so what's happening here? Let me just adjust the beads a little bit so I can see. Okay, cool. All right, so here's my heart. I don't know why there's nail polish right there. Okay, so it looks like this. So this string, this right string here. Let me get my little stick, pointer stick. So this string right here is going to go through this bead, and then I'm going to add a bead right here in this open space, and then the string is going to keep going here. I'm going to add a bead right here, and then I'm going to string through these 3 beads. Okay, and let's see how that looks. So I'm going to string through these 2. I'm going to add a bead. Okay, I'm going to go through the next 2. So it's making that first curve. I'm going to add a bead. And I'm going for symmetry here. So what I do on the left, or one side of the heart, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side of the heart. Whoops, okay, here we go. I'm going to go through the next 3 beads. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's see what that looks like. So that is the top part of my heart, right? And it's a little loose right now. That's okay, as long as it's not like super loose. But this is good. Okay, so I'm going to add, let me get my trusty stick here, with this string. I'm going to add a bead here, string through. I'm going to go through this bead. I'm going to add a bead. I'm going to go through this bead. I'm going to add a bead. I'm going to go through this bead. And then I'm going to add a bead here. Okay. Okay, so what did I say? Okay, let's add a bead. And basically I'm just looking at all these empty spaces right here and seeing where I can add some beads. And depending on if I add a bead or if I add 2 beads, if I don't add a bead, my heart's gonna look different. So add a bead, go through, add a bead, go through, add a bead. Okay, so that's this side of the heart. And then with this string here, let me just pull it a little bit so you can see. So with this string on the left, I'm going to add a bead, and then I'm going to go through this string, and then I'm going to tie right here. So add a bead, pull through this bead right here. Okay. Pull. Oh, it's not getting knots. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to tie this off. Okay, I have way too much string, so I'm just going to cut a little bit right at the end here. Okay. Okay. So that's 1 knot. Let's do a double knot. Whoops. Okay. Let's tie that. Okay. So you notice that now I have 1 point. So if you notice, there are 2 little points here, and I want to get rid of those points by moving the beads around and I might have to try a few different things just to see what I like, because the placement of the beads really changes how the heart is going to look, right? So I kind of like this. To me, this is much rounder than this. Like this was kind of boxy, and I didn't like that boxiness, but to me this is much rounder. So I'm going to go with that. So this has the 6 beads right here in the curve, but this has 5. So I like this. I'm going to go with it. Let's add some clear nail polish. That was a lot of nail polish on the bead, but that's what I like about the clear nail polish. It's kind of forgiving. Even if I get it on the bead, it doesn't really show. Whereas if you do that with what is it, that the super glue, is that what it's called? That just dries really ugly. Okay, let's cut that. Okay, whoops. And that's my heart. So I wanted to show you these 4 hearts. And these 4 hearts were all made using that same foundation with the right angle weave. But I put different numbers of beads in different areas, and I decreased, which means that I just, instead of adding a bead, I just strung the string through 2 beads and I pulled it tight, like right here. I pulled this tight instead of adding a bead. So here I added a bead. Here I skipped the bead and I just pulled the string tight. So they look different. And I'm pretty sure that you could come up with more combinations than this, but I just wanted to show you that that these could look very different. Personally, I think I like this one and I like this one. These two I like. This one is too boxy for me, and this one is like the top part is just too big. But these to me are a little bit more well balanced.